I'm continuing my reviews of Hamster and Gretel Season 2 with Episode 7. 7A is I think, therefore I slam, and 7B is thanks, but no pranks. So let's begin with talking about 7A. So let's just begin. The title is a play off of the saying, I think, therefore I am by Descartes. There's an original Latin saying, I'm not going in there. And then the villain of the episode, Lemonade Stan, is a parody of the Kool-Aid Man. So, that's going for it. Those are my favorite parts of the episode, but the overall plot of it, while the message is good, with Gretel and Bailey learning just to be themselves, it's a old and tired trope at this point, and I feel like they didn't really play with the formula. So, just to kind of recap the episode with what's going on. Gretel and Bailey are trying to, make friends with the cool kids, who are basically goths, for lack of a better term. Not quite, but, trying to appeal to them rather than, just be themselves. And both Fred and Kevin tell them that just be yourselves, but they don't listen. And Fred does give them some advice. But the point being is that both of them stated what the point of the episode is, and the episode plotline shows it, that just be who you are. And even the slightly older cool kids learn a little bit of a lesson as well from all this. They only act like, how they are, uninterested goth type girls things. Again, though, I don't know the quite stereotype, but the cool kid stereotype, I guess. Learn that, they don't necessarily have to always be seeking attention, I think. Again, I felt like they didn't do enough in this episode to play on with the trope, so I just didn't kind of care for it. I thought it was a bit uninspired and didn't really play with the concept more than, just the villain and the title. I think, therefore I slam. Yeah, I like that pun. And Lemonade Stan being the parody of the Kool-Aid Man, where if instead of going through walls, he goes through floors. Yeah, I think that's a really good parody. Doesn't do much in terms of, commentary, but it's just a good parody. It's fun. But for the overall episode, I feel like it's just lacking in purpose. Even though it does have a purpose, I just feel like it's tried, true, and overdone. So, not my favorite. But when it comes to 7B, thanks but no pranks, which the title, by the way, is a play on the saying thanks but no thanks, I really like this episode. So, one of Kevin's friends, Anthony, finally appears again. He doesn't appear too often, but Kevin and Anthony, they get into, a prank war with each other, because they're trying to get on basically a prank channel's season finale. Again, kind of weird, the terminology, kind of like, makes it seem like more like almost more like a forum than a video channel, but regardless, I really did like this episode because it does have a message that says pranks can go too far. In fact, Kevin and Anthony, lost of their pranks, they were doing it to each other. Nothing was truly that harmful until their last two pranks with each other, which got them to stop talking to each other until they decided to join forces to stop the actual villain of the episode, who wanted to prank the entire town in revenge for one prank that happened on him in high school, who's, by the way, the person who has that prank site. And, instead of, pranking the person who pranked him, he decides to give revenge on the entire town. This episode definitely, like I said, has that anti-prank messaging that pranks can be good, but needs to be between people who are agreeing to the pranks, even if they're not agreeing to the specific prank, but they know they're going to be pranked, and it's all friendly and just. And that they even mention in this episode, Kevin and Anthony, they have a moment where they mention that they had the prank ceasefire, so that way they could just hang out, but both of them do a prank that gets them mad at each other, showing that things can go too far, but you could make a situation where it works, i.e., couple friends pranking each other in a friendly manner and agreeing when to stop. That's good. It's when they don't hold to their agreement that becomes a problem, or when you involve total strangers. And that's the thing is, the villain of the episode, he definitely, I think, has this mentality that pranks need to be held on people you don't know, people you don't communicate with, because that's how his entire experience of pranks. So he thinks Kevin and Anthony are going to be just like him, willing to prank total strangers, but all the pranks were against each other. Two people pranking each other and understanding of what they were doing. And it was only once they both violated their ceasefire agreement did things go bad for them, but they did make amends, realize they had gone too far. Of course, speaking of ceasefire, bird war! Okay, let me explain. So while Kevin and Anthony are doing their pranks, Hamster's just sitting watching everyone. I'll get to what he says in a moment, but Gretel and Bailey are building a birdhouse. They start small and realize, oh, we need to make it bigger because what if the birds start fighting over and there's a bird war? And then we get a imaginative sequence where the birds are fighting a war. It's in black and white. They're wearing helmets. They're being sad, sorrow, mournful over their dead friends. It literally looks like a scene out of World War One. Maybe not as gruesome as World War One, but still, I did not expect them to go there. So they build another birdhouse that's slightly bigger, but Gretel forgets to put in the angle brackets in, so it collapses. She took a shortcut. Of course, that does help them, because they realize that the villain of the episode, with his obstacle course and his prank that he was going to do on the town, he took some shortcuts, so they use that to their advantage to stop him from pranking anyone but himself. And then we get the last scene where there's the final birdhouse. It's really nice, but the birds start fighting over it and declare a bird war and then throw on helmets, and then the bird war is unavoidable apparently, but it was just so funny, and I really loved as a person who's huge into history, my degree is in history actually, that they make a reference to World War One, not World War II, World War One. Now the helmets did look a bit like either American World War II helmets or German helmets from both World Wars. Because the German helmet was actually, that everyone knows from World War II, was actually introduced in World War I with the stormtroops for the trenches. But regardless, that style of helmet has become like the stereotypical helmet design and shortcut, unless you want to show a British helmet. Then you go with a slightly different design. But that's besides the point. I just love that inclusion. I felt like that was a joke aimed at the parents watching it, or us older fans as well. But really, the kids will see that and probably ask their parents some questions. But I'm glad they did it anyhow, because while it's not necessarily a joke for kids, I got it. I enjoyed it. And I should also mention too that they do have a song sequence for going over all the pranks that Kevin and Anthony pull on each other. And I really loved how they basically, during that song, took away all the background, so it's only them and their pranks. You don't see the settings or anything. I thought that was a really interesting stylistic choice. And you know what? Kevin and Gretel's parents even get on the pranking as well, and you can tell they're just having fun with each other, because they're pranking in a light-hearted sense rather than in a mean sense, and clearly I think they knew they were going to be pranking each other as well. And this is where Hamster's only line of the episode comes in, where he says, and these are somehow the dominant species on the planet. I might have gotten a word or two off there, but that's his sentiment. Basically, he's being like, humans and face palming. That's essentially the energy I got from them. Not quite what he did, but he's like just done with their behaviors. But that's pretty much everything I have to say about these two episodes. I think Therefore I Same has a great pun title, has a great villain, but I felt like the plot of the episode was a bit reductive and uninspiring and did not innovate. But thanks but no thanks, I really loved the A and B plots of this episode. I thought they paired well with each other, and I loved how they intersect. I thought it was just a really good episode. So, I don't know where I would rank these episodes as a whole, but they're definitely on opposite sides of the ranking. But I want to hear from you. What did you think of I Think Therefore I Same and Thanks But No Pranks? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the force be with you always.